Football is more than goals, trophies, and highlights. It's chaos disguised as choreography, a heartbeat that changes the world with a single touch, because in this game, 1 second can rewrite history. A miss, a tackle, a moment that never leaves your mind. What if Ronaldo never got injured? What if Messi played for Spain? What if Zidane kept his cool? The beautiful game is built on moments, but defined by the ones that never happen. This is football's parallel universe, a place where legends were lost, dynasties undone, and dreams rewrote themselves before the final whistle. These are the top 10 biggest what-ifs in football history. Number 10. What if England had won the 1990 World Cup? For England, 1990 was more than a tournament. It was a national rebirth. Bobby Robson's men played with heart, hope, and style. Paul Gascoigne, young and fearless, became the face of a generation in the semi-final against Germany. They were so close. Penalties, always penalties. When Waddle's shot flew over, you could almost hear the country break. But imagine, just for a moment, if they'd won. If Gaz's tears had turned to champagne. If Lineker had lifted the World Cup under the lights of Rome. The Premier League was born just 2 years later. Imagine it beginning with England as world champions. The swagger, the confidence, the culture. Maybe Gascoigne doesn't spiral. Maybe Robson stays. Maybe England doesn't spend decades haunted by a ghost that still sings, "It's coming home." One kick changed it all. Number 9. What if Ronaldo Nazário never got injured? Before Messi and Cristiano, there was Ronaldo, a fenomeno. He wasn't just fast, he was untouchable. At 21, he was already a 2-time FIFA World Player of the Year. Defenders didn't stop him. They prayed he'd miss. Then came the injuries. 2 knee explosions that would have ended anyone else's career. He rebuilt himself twice, but never again was he that electric force. Imagine Ronaldo without those injuries. More World Cups, more Ballon d'Ors, more fear in defenders' eyes. He could have redefined the record books before the millennium turned. Instead, he became a legend in fragments. Flashes of brilliance instead of a lifetime of dominance. He was the perfect player, trapped in an imperfect body. Number 8. What if Zidane hadn't headbutted Materazzi? Berlin, 2006. World Cup final. Zinedine Zidane's last match. He had already given us that Panenka, ice in his veins, art in his soul. One more goal, one more trophy, and his story would have been complete. But then, Materazzi whispers something, and Zidane, football's philosopher, loses himself for 1 second. A headbutt heard around the world, a red card that ended a career and a dream. If he hadn't done it, France could have won. Zidane could have retired as the ultimate champion. Instead, he walked past the trophy, head down, as Italy lifted it behind him. But maybe that's what makes him immortal. The flaw, the fire. Because genius and madness are often born in the same breath. Number 7. What if Messi had chosen Spain? In 2003, a young Lionel Messi was a secret. Barely 16, small, shy, and full of magic. Spain called. They wanted him for La Roja. If he'd said yes, picture this. Xavi, Iniesta, and Messi. Not just at Barcelona, but for Spain Euro 2008, World Cup 2010, Euro 2012, a dynasty stretching beyond imagination. Maybe they win everything. Maybe Messi wins 5 World Cups. Maybe Argentina never gets their miracle in Qatar. But Messi chose his homeland. He chose the blue and white. And because of that, football gave us something better than perfection: emotion. We saw tears, heartbreaks, retirements, and finally, redemption. The story of a boy who never stopped believing. Even when the world said no, some what-ifs are meant to stay unreal, because reality became legend. Number 6. What if Pep Guardiola had stayed at Barcelona? Barcelona, 2008 to 2012. It wasn't football, it was poetry. Guardiola built something divine. Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Piqué. An orchestra of intelligence and rhythm, 4 years of control. 4 years of magic, and then he walked away. If Pep had stayed, rebuilt, evolved, reimagined, could that dynasty have lasted another decade? Could Barca have stayed on the throne? Would Real Madrid's Galáctico resurgence ever have begun? Instead, Pep left, and with him, the era faded. The machine slowed. The symphony ended. What came next was dominance scattered across continents, Bayern City, brilliance reborn in fragments. If he'd stayed, maybe football would have remained under one spell. Instead, he took the magic and spread it to the world. Number 5. What if Maradona played in today's era? Imagine Diego Armando Maradona, with today's sports science, nutrition, and protection. The same fire, the same brilliance, but now with perfect pitches, elite training, and a world built to protect him. Would anyone stop him? Would Messi even exist as we know him? In the 1980s, Diego did the impossible every week. He was kicked, hacked, and hunted, and still danced through chaos. He won a World Cup almost single-handedly. If he had played today, maybe he'd have shattered every record. Or maybe he'd have lost his edge. Because Maradona's magic came from fighting the system, not thriving in it. He was a storm, not a structure. And storms aren't meant to be tamed. Number 4. What if Iniesta scored that penalty? Champions League 2012. Barcelona versus Chelsea. A semi-final dripping with destiny. If Iniesta's shot had found the net instead of Cech's gloves, Barcelona go through. Maybe Pep stays. Maybe Chelsea's fairy tale never happens. Maybe Drogba never redeems himself in Munich. Football would have lost one of its greatest underdog stories, but Barca's empire might have lasted longer. It's a reminder that in football, glory and grief are neighbors. A miss here, a save there, and history changes forever. Number 3, what if the Netherlands won in 1974? 1974, total football, Cruyff, Neeskens, Krol. They reinvented the game, movement, rotation, intelligence. They didn't just play football, they created it, but they lost the final. The prophets never reached paradise. If they had won, Dutch football would have dominated the world. Cruyff's Ajax, Michel's philosophy, it might have ruled the sport for decades. Instead, others borrowed their blueprint and built their own empires. The Netherlands became the greatest team never to win. The artists who changed everything, except the scoreboard. Number 2. What if Mbappé had joined Real Madrid in 2022? Modern football's biggest sliding door moment. Everyone expected it. Mbappé in white, standing at the Bernabeu, the heir to Ronaldo's throne. But he stayed in Paris. He chose control over history. If he'd gone to Madrid, imagine the dynasty. Benzema, Vinicius, Bellingham, Mbappé. Unstoppable, multiple Champions Leagues. A new Galáctico era. Instead, he became the face of Qatar's power play, the player who defied football's biggest club. Did he choose ambition or comfort? Time will tell. But one thing's certain. Every career has a crossroads, and this was his. Number 1. What if Lionel Messi never won the World Cup? For 16 years, Lionel Messi carried the impossible weight of expectation. He had everything, except the one thing he needed most. Every Copa America final lost, every tear shed in blue and white. It built the legend, but also the curse. If Qatar 2022 had ended in defeat, how would history remember him? The greatest ever, or the greatest almost? But destiny waited. And on that December night, Messi lifted the trophy that had eluded him forever. The stadium roared, the world cried, and a circle was complete. It wasn't just a win, it was closure for every what-if football had ever whispered. The game that never ends. Football is a story written by chaos. Every pass, every mistake, every heartbeat, an alternate universe waiting to exist. And that's why we love it. Because every fan, every player, every moment carries a secret question. What if? What if one goal had gone in? What if one dream had come true? What if we could rewrite the game? We can't, but we can remember. We can imagine. And that's why football will never die, because the ball keeps rolling in a million possible worlds. This is Inside the Game, where football meets fate. If you enjoyed this journey through football's greatest what-ifs, don't forget to like, comment your own what-if, and subscribe for more stories that go beyond the pitch.